another perspective of this. Awakening purpose in a distracted generation. Now, for you to be able to awaken and stay in your purpose in a distracted generation, you must be able to possess the power of no in this generation. The power of no. Number one, you have to say no to yourself. How do you say no to yourself? Now, human beings, we are engaged in a state of conflict, in a conflict with ourselves. We talk ourselves in and out of great ideas. Say no to it. You talk yourself in and out of great, vision. Say no to it. Also, resist instant gratification. I tell you, if you are a kind of person that what you are supposed to enjoy in the future, you are enjoying now, you are going to walk into a barren future. You are going to walk into a future that there is nothing to enjoy, because enjoyment is a process. It has to be gradual. So delay impulses that derail your focus, and also discipline yourself over dopamines. You have to discipline yourself. You must discipline yourself. You must discipline yourself. Now, secondly, say no to others. Please, there's a mistake there. It's supposed to be say no to others, not others. Say no to others. What does that mean? People talk you in and out of situations. Number one, some people try to, bring their subjective experiences and bias to become your own experience. It's not supposed to be. You are the creator of your own destiny. Create your own destiny. It's not supposed to be. Don't allow people to project their own fears and bias to you. No, define who you are and go for it. Even if it is in a midst of fear. I tell you, fear is breathing. Even if you are fearful about a situation, don't stop going for what you believe is right. Don't stop doing what you think is right. And then lastly, say no to thoughts. Now, for you to be able to manifest purpose, you must walk in a system of positive thoughts. You must walk in a system of positive thought. And again, I like quoting this man, Napoleon Hill said that thoughts are things, thoughts are things. It is just that they are not tangible things in the physical world. But if you hold on to your thoughts long enough, they become tangible. They become realistic. They manifest into tangible things. So what does that mean? Be careful of your thoughts. Your thought process defines who you are. Your thought process defines who you are. Until thought be linked with purpose, there is no intelligent accomplishment. You need to align this. Now, some times back, I had this impression within my spirit that before now, and nephew Jacob, you are looking at me right now, and nephew Jacob once lived in his thought, but right now I live what I thought. I once lived in my thoughts, but right now I am living what I thought. So whatever, look at your life. If you have lived up to 25 years, you have lived up to 30 years or above or below 18 years, you are a product of 18 years of thoughts and decisions. 30 years, you are a product of and decisions. 30 years of thoughts and decisions. So you have to decide. And we end here. I end with this. All that a man achieves or that he fails to achieve is the direct result of his own thought. So decide which place, decide if you choose to achieve or you fail to achieve. And I pray that God will help you to achieve much with the right step, with the right mindset, with the right question. I'm praying for you in Jesus' name. Now, I want you to know that your importunity will create your opportunity. Your importunity will create your opportunity. Thank you, and I appreciate you for joining this webinar. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Cham and Yakio Jacob. I loved all that you brought to us. I was wishing that time was really on our side, but we have to obey the time. Thank you so much. Very rich content there. If I go over from all that you've said, we were dealing with awakening purpose in a distracted generation. And he began by asking, what's next? Some time ago, last year, when I did my convocation, and I sat back and asked myself, Janet, what's next? I mean, all through school, I was wishing that I'll come to this point where I'll be a graduate. But after leaving the grounds of the convocation, I asked myself, what's next? Do you also have that question? He moved on to say, after asking what's next, in awakening your purpose, especially in this generation that is very much filled with distractions, he said, where do we go from here? Or where exactly are you at the moment? Where am I? Because if you know where you are, help you to connect yourself to where you hope to be or where you need to move ahead from where you are. And then you also went on to ask another question. What is in my hand? What is in my hand? You remember the popular Bible story where God asked Moses, what do you have in your hand? What do you have in your hand? And so there are various things that he has told us here. He said that living a life of purpose, when he was talking about purpose, it is not affluence, but influence. The call of purpose is the call to influence. And of course, the success is not judged by wealth, like you said, but it is an added advantage of working in purpose. Because when you are in tandem with the will of God for your life, there is nowhere you'll be a man of lack. There is nowhere you'll be a poor man. Please let's help us by muting our microphones. Mr. Daniel, please mute your microphone. We're having some G-Trings over here. Please mute your microphone. And Medium, mute your microphone. Thank you so much. So I'm just doing a recap of all that he has said before we move on to the next discourse. He said that your skills, your talent are not necessarily your purpose, but they must work together to take you to your purpose. So if you get inspiration to write music, to write songs, if you have inspirations to create design for fashion designers, if you have inspirations like me to be a public speaker, to have words, at your beck and call, that it is not your purpose. But these things are needed to build your purpose, to take you to where God has designed for you. And then he mentioned that while you are living a life of purpose, it is a life of service to humanity, away from yourself. Self-centeredness would not help you. Self-centeredness will not take you there. So if you are a man who is interested in business and career, in growing yourself, you must know that you are all living for humanity and not necessarily yourself. And you know the check is that in as much as you're living for humanity, you will be taken care of. I trust God. And of course, nature will not cheat you. You will also be taken care of. You'll be sorted. So we have to live a life of influence and a life of humanity at the center of it all. And then he said that when the essence of a thing is not discovered, abuse is inevitable. This is actually true. Many of us were going through this. If you do not discover the essence to which you're using your device, you might abuse it and using it to do things that you do not need. So I like us to know ourselves, know our essences, know our purposes, and use them judiciously so that we do not go on the trail of abuse. Abuse is usually not a good thing to experience and it doesn't end well. And then moving quickly, he said, you have to say no to three important things. You have to say no to three important things. You have to say first no to yourself. There are various things that will sprout around you. There are various diseases, there are various ideas, there are various wishes and desires that may come up in you. But you need to say no to them. Now, when you judge them and you see that this thing will not take you to a place of purpose, adding to that what the speaker has said, you have to tell yourself, look yourself in the eye, stand in front of the mirror and tell yourself, Janet, no to this one, because it is not in tandem with God's will for my life. You also have to say no to others. A lot of people may live be a shadow of themselves, leaning on other people's decisions and other people's choices. Remember those days where parents used to choose careers for their children, and so their children are mere reflections of their shadows. They are not who they ought to be. But thank God that such an era is gradually fading out and phasing out. And so you have to say no to others. All right. And then you also have to say no to thoughts. We are a product of our thoughts. The Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. So if the Bible strongly warns us about keeping our minds safe, for out of it are the issues of life, then you must really guard your thoughts, you must really guard your mind. And then he ended by making a prayer for us and also wishing that all that a man achieves or that he fails to achieve is a direct result of his own thoughts. We're still talking about thoughts. But he has prayed and wished that God will help us to come into a place of purpose in this distracted generation so that we might ourselves be happy, serve humanity, and live a life that we've been truly called to live. Thank you so much, Champ and Nephew Jacob. Champ and Nephew Jacob is the founder and lead advocate God's Family of Champions Foundation. He is a young man who is very determined to grow men who are interested to learn and come into a place of purpose. He has a niche in criminology. He has a niche in criminology, just going a bit into his career life. And he's a fantastic young man, my friend, my brother, and it was such a delight to have him on that session. And being done with that, don't forget that this is the Audacious webinar 2025, a call to purpose in God, a call to reawaken your business consciousness, a call to help you grow and be a better person. We have started and we're here, and it's going so far, so good. So we move ahead to hear from the next speaker, Mrs. Faith, as she'll be talking about principles of business growth and personal branding. Keys to sustainable business growth. Principles of business growth and personal branding. Keys to sustainable business growth. Mrs. Faith Essien is a proud daughter of Akwa Ibom. She is a business mogul of no mean feat. And then has all the knowledge and she has all the technical know-how to share with us how to grow your business, to take it to a level that you yourself you feel proud, that you yourself will enjoy, that you yourself will reap from purpose to profits. Don't forget that. So this is the time we're giving up to Mrs. Faith Essien, our second speaker for today. Let's welcome her as she comes up to share the principles of business growth and personal branding. Please, Mrs. Faith Essien, this is the time.
Just the message that we should take the question and answer question. While wait, question and answer session. While wait for her. She just boarded the train right now.
Okay.
Please. Thank you. So
So
after that, Pastor Victor.
okay.
After
All
the question
right.
and answer.
So Mrs. Faith, we understand with you. So we're moving now to the question and answer session. I think the questions will be directed at Champani. So there are links dropped in the group for the question and answer. Please, we'll be taking your questions now. He's very much available to give you the right responses. So this is a time for question and answer, everyone. Thank you. If you're not talking, please mute your mic.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good
Okay,
evening,
my name is
Daniel.
my name is Sute. I want to ask my first question: is this a church program? And secondly, is this also a webinar? Like I was thinking, I'm going to hear something like affiliate marketing and the rest. So that's my second. That is all I have.
Okay, so Mr. Daniel, I wouldn't want us to bother our first speaker because what you've asked do not relate to the topic that he took us through. But I'd like to clarify that if you go back to the graphics design that we flooded social media platforms with, you would read through lines that it is a webinar. It is the Audacious webinar. It is a gathering of young people to reignite our purposes and our work with God, to help us grow in business plans, and to help us to develop ourselves and become better men and women. It is not a marketing platform. It is not